Hello students, now we will discuss writing the element electronic configurations. In lower class we are studying electronic configurations by writing that sequence 2, 8, 18 system. But now when we write the element electronic configuration, we need to indicate orbit number, subshells, and if we take more precise, even orbitals. Electron distribution in orbitals. So we will study the element electronic configuration accordingly. For writing the element electronic configurations, we will indicate shell number by N, subshell by L, and X indicate the number of electrons in a given subshell. X will be taken number of electrons, N indicate the principal quantum number or the main shell number, and L indicate subshells numbers or subshells like S, P, D, F, and N indicate 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and X indicate the number of electrons in a particular orbit in that subshell. So this way we write the element electronic configurations where we write the configuration of elements indicating shells, subshells and indicating electrons occupying those subshells in a given shell. Like if I write here element electronic configuration in second orbit, in first orbit if I write here is n is 1, how we write configuration in simple way? We write 2 electron maximum. So how we write here 1 as 2. If you have 2 electron, a second orbit it can have, suppose second orbit can have 8 electron maximum. So if it can have suppose 6 electrons, so how to write here 2s and 2p will be 2 subshells. So 2s can have 2 electron maximum, and then how many electron remaining? 4 are filled in the 2p. So basically we indicate shell number, subshell and having how many electrons. We write this way the elements electronic configuration, and for writing the element electronic configurations we need to use some rules. Some rules are there. Those rules are helpful to us for explaining the elements electronic configurations. क्या क्या rules होंगे यहाँ पे? Let us take a list of the rules. First rule will be discussed here. Aufbau principle. Aufbau principle. First rule can be taken is Aufbau principle. We will take in fact 4 rules here, which I can list here directly. Like first can be called Aufbau principle. Second is called Pauli's exclusion principle, and third is taken Hund's rule. And in between we are studying one rule called N plus L rule, also called Bohr-Barry rule, for deciding the energy, which will help us in this principle. So what is Aufbau principle? Aufbau is not a scientist name. It is a word, German word. Aufbau is a German word meaning building up. It means building up. It is not scientist name, remember, it is a German word which means building up. So for this principle, what is the statement? You can write statement लिख लीजिए आप लोग. Okay, it states that electrons first enters lowest energy orbitals, and after they are completely filled, subsequent electron filling occurs in orbitals in increasing order of their energies. It says that first electron enters the lowest energy orbitals. After filling them completely, electrons, whatever remaining, they are going to the higher energy orbitals in the increasing order of energies. In the increasing order of energies. So basically, it says that electron first. बेसिक आपका पॉइंट्स बहुत सिंपल है. इलेक्ट्रॉन कहाँ पे रहना चाहता है, वहां पे इलेक्ट्रॉन विल ट्राई टू रिमेन देयर वेयर इट हैव मोर स्टेबिलिटी. तो वेयर द इलेक्ट्रॉन हैव मोर स्टेबिलिटी, व्हेन एनर्जी इज लोएस्ट. तो इलेक्ट्रॉन फॉर दैट रीजन फर्स्ट एंटर्स लोएस्ट एनर्जी ऑर्बिटल्स, and then after filling them, if we have more electron remaining, they will go to higher energy orbitals as per this Auger principle. Now for the orbitals, what is energy sequence? So energy order can be written as 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, and so on. It becomes sometimes difficult to memorize such a bigger sequence, or if the sequence I can extend further. So how to get the sequence? It is the sequence of energy of the electrons in these orbitals. In this direction, for the electrons, energy increases. Energy of electron increases in this sequence. That after 4s we can 4p we can have 5s and then and so on. तो ये एनर्जी ऑर्डर आता कैसे है? कोई इसका ट्रिक क्या है, शॉर्टकट क्या है? इसका बहुत सिंपल तरीका होता है. आई विल एक्सप्लेन टू इन सिंप्लीफाइड वे हाउ टू get the sequence, to memorize sequence in a simplified way, which is common method of deciding the energy sequence as per this given values. कैसे sequence आएगा आपका? Let us see you can write the orbits along with subshells. Like if I take first orbit, we'll have one subshell only, 1s. Second orbit can have two subshells, 2s and 2p. Third can have 3s, 3p, 3d, and fourth can have 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. Next can have 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, 5g I can write but not relevant because there is no element in which electron enter 5g orbitals. Then you can have 6s, 6p, 6d, 7s, 7p, 7d, 8s. Even 8 is not required because we have only till now 7 periods, so in which 8 is not required. So if we write in future, suppose we can write this way. So from here you can write them first this way. Shell number 1, subshell single, second element 2 have 2 subshells, S and P, 3 have 3 subshells, SPD, 4 can have 4 subshells, SPDF, 5 can have 5, but I'm not writing last one because we don't require that one for writing the configuration of the known elements or till now whatever we discovered. So that is writing first all the elements, then we connect them. How to connect them? You can connect them this way here. Very simple way of connecting them. On connecting them, you can write the sequence this way. Then it is very simple energy sequence. How to write the now energy sequence? Energy increasing order. What is order of energy? Increasing order. I can write word here. First we have 1s, lowest energy. Then we will have 2s. देखिए आपको और connect करना है, थोड़ा doubt हो रहा होगा. You can connect them again from back side. You can connect them by backward direction. What I mean to say here? इसको वापस ले आइए एरो को. You can join backward. You get the entire chain sequence easily. This will get the entire sequence. बस जब दौड़ते रहिए इसमें. After 2s what we have 2p, then 3s, then we will have 3p, then we will have 4s, then we can have 3d, then we have 4p, then we have 5s, then we go back 4d, then we have 5p, then 6s, then we can have 4f, 4f, then we have 5d, 6p, 7s, then 5f, then we have 6d, 7p, and then 8s. If you write more, can write more, but not required, because till the highest you can take electrons are filled in the 7th period, means up to 7 only. 8 is not required at all. So anyway, it is the energy sequence how we can decide for the orbitals using the rule or principle called as Aufbau principle. लिख लिया पर आपने? Now one point to remember for hydro. I hope it's clear. आप पॉज करके इसको नोट कर सकते हैं. आगे क्या होता है? For one point to remember for hydrogen-like species or atoms or ions which have single electron, for them what is energy sequence? For single electron species. Okay, right, next slide. You can see for hydrogen-like atom or ions or single electron species, we can take energy of electron depends only on principal quantum number. I can write n only. So sometimes they may ask question, because we have discussed earlier that for hydrogen-like atom from Bohr postulate, for electron how to find energy, minus 13.6 z square by n square electron volt per atom, using that point. You can take for them only n is required, not the s, or not the value of L. So you can take for them what is energy sequence. 1s energy lowest, 2s 2p have same energy, 3s 3p, 3d will have same energy, 4s 4p, 4d 4f, they will have same energy, and so on. For them the energy will depend only on the principal quantum number. Why we take in the given case, we have taken several points where n is higher, but they are filled first. Like we have taken 4s filled before 3d in the given sequence. So how this sequence we can explain. So anyway, note down this here. Then for deciding the energy in multi-electron system, we use one rule called as Bohr-Bury rule or n plus L rule. What is that rule? We will discuss now. Now second rule taken is Bohr-Bury rule. It is more commonly called as n plus L rule. It is called n plus L rule. Bohr-Bury rule or n plus L rule. इस रूल का पर्पस क्या होता है? It help in comparison of energy of orbitals. It help in comparing or comparison of energy of orbitals. Bohr-Bury rule or n plus L rule. Are you getting this point? Now what is the rule? Write the statement. लिख लीजिए. It states that the orbital having higher value of n plus L, will have high energy. will have high energy, and if two orbitals have same value of n plus L, if two orbitals have same value of n plus L, then the orbital having higher value of n will have higher energy. When the orbital having higher value of n will have higher energy, So we can have two cases possible. When either we have value of n plus L higher, energy will be higher of the orbitals. If they have same value of n plus L, then n higher, energy will be higher of the orbitals. That is what we can explain from Bohr-Bury rule or n plus L rule. This explained at several points you have seen कि n higher but energy was lower. Whereas as per Bohr postulate we told n higher, for the electron the energy should be higher. So this can be explained by this Bohr-Bury rule. Rule क्या बोलता है देखिए एक बार फिर से. If we compare two orbitals, let's say 3p and 4s, in them which will have higher energy when we compare energy of orbitals? Energy can be compared by using n plus L rule. So what is value of n plus L? For 3, n is 3. For p, L is 1. We have 4. While in this 4s, n is 4. For s orbitals, what is L value? 0. It is 4. It is one case. Now in this case, when we take it is second case, the orbital having same value of n plus L, then the orbital which have higher value of n will have higher energy. So in this case, the energy of 3p is less, while 4s will be higher. If I compare on the other hand, again energy comparison, of we take 4s and 3d orbitals. So in this case, which energy will be higher? We can again use n plus L rule. What is value of n plus L for 4s orbital? 4 plus n 4 हुआ. For s orbitals, what is L? 0. It is 4. While for 3d, n कितना है? 3. For subshell d, what is L? 2. That is 5. So 3 plus 2 become 5. So when we compare energy, 3d energy is more than 4s. क्यों? अब इसमें क्या है? This orbital 3d have higher value of n plus L as compared to 4s orbital. For this reason, the energy for 3d is more than 4s. आपको दो ही पॉइंट आप ध्यान रखिए. You can decide the energy of the orbitals easily. कैसे? एक तो केस हुआ कि higher the value of n plus L, energy is higher. अगर second केस क्या होता है? If the value becomes same of n plus L, then what happen? Whichever orbitals have higher value of n, that will have higher energy. If you just compare, let's say one more example to compare. Let's say comparison of 4d and 5p. In these two orbitals, or I can take one more, 4f also. If I take suppose 3 orbitals, they asked to compare energy of these orbitals. So how to compare energy for these orbitals? In all the case you find the value of n plus L. आपको याद होना चाहिए कि for SPDF subcells the value of L कितना होता है? 0, 1, 2, 3. इसको क्या रखिए? इसको है. और SPDF orbitals the value of L is 0, 1, 2, 3. तो what is n? n is principal quantum number आपको दिख रहा है सब में 4 या 5 या फिर 4 है. What is L value? For D subshell 2, for P subshell 1, for F subshells कितना है? 3. तो कितना हुआ वैल्यू यहाँ पे? 6 या 7. तो if I compare energy of all the orbitals, what is the energy sequence of these orbitals? I think it is already given in order. देखिए इसमें क्या? हाईएस्ट वैल्यू ऑफ n plus L, energy will be highest, no doubt. In these two have same value of n plus L, n higher, energy higher. So this is already in energy sequence, order of energy given. Okay, for this reason 4d energy is lower than 5p, 5p is lower than 4f. how we described here by using n plus l rule, also called बोहर-बरी rule. कि आई होप आपको समझ में आया हो पॉइंट वाला कि अगर हमारे पास दो ऑर्बिटल्स दिए हुए हैं, उसमें एक केस होता है कि दोनों का n प्लस l वैल्यू सेम होता है, तो हम क्या देखते हैं, खाली n, जिसका n बड़ा है उसका एनर्जी हाई होगा. अगर एक ऐसा कह सकता है कि यहाँ पे वैल्यू डिफरेंट है n प्लस l का, तो देखते हैं ओनली समेशन ऑफ n प्लस l वैल्यू, जिसका भी n प्लस l वैल्यू बड़ा होगा उसका एनर्जी हायर होगा. फिर इसमें हमें n और वो देखना नहीं है कि n कितना है एक का कि सेकंड का कितना है, because this is explaining the point why the energy of 3D is more than 4s or this kind of points. So I hope it is clear, the Bohr-Bury rule. Now next we can take here is Pauli's exclusion principle. Now next one taken here is Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle. What is this principle? It can have two statements. Write down both statements. ठीक है, पहला write down first statement लिखिए. That is the basic statement. It states that an orbital can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons with opposite spin. That an orbital can contain 2 electron maximum only, and that both the electrons should have spin direction opposite. इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? If I take suppose a single orbital, this can have 2 electrons. So if I write one spin up, then one should be spin down. If I write here both spin up or both spin down, they are not allowed. They are wrong. Then that says that single orbital have 2 electron maximum, and that the 2 electrons should have spin direction opposite. Why it is opposite, can you tell? The reason is very simple. The electron which have same direction of spinning motion will create same nature magnetic field. The electron or the charged particle which are rotating on their own axis, they create some magnetic field. If 2 electrons have same direction of spin motion, then they create same kind of magnetic field. Now already electrons are having negative charge on them. Electrons are having on them negative charge, so they have electrostatic repulsion. And if they also have same nature of magnetic field, then they have very high repulsion. So electron in that case cannot occupy same orbital. Now if the 2 electrons have spin direction opposite, then they create attractive kind of magnetic field which can stabilize or decrease or minimize the electrostatic repulsion of the electrons. That's the reason for this, why the 2 electrons should have spin direction opposite when they occupy same orbital. For this principle, we can have one more statement. लिख लीजिए second statement. Second statement is given. Write down no 2 electrons. No 2 electrons in an atom can have all the four quantum numbers same. All the 4 quantum numbers same. No 2 electrons in an atom can have all the 4 quantum numbers same. Means if I suppose right here 2 electron occupying, suppose let us take 2s orbital. So for 2 electron, what is the value of n? If I take 1 electron have spin up, 1 have spin down. So if we take for both electrons, what is the value of n? 2 each. What is value of l? 0 0 What is value of m? 0, 0. But what the value of s? If it is plus half, then second has to be minus half. Or I can write, suppose it is negative half, then second is plus half. So means at the max, they can have three quantum numbers same, n, l, m. Because when the two electron occupying same orbital, only then they can have same value of n, same value of l, and same value of m. But spin also in that case become opposite. So at the max, they can have three same value of the quantum numbers. It is as per this principle called as Pauli's exclusion principle. It excludes the possibility of having all the four same value of quantum numbers. Okay? Or exclude the possibility of electron occupying same orbital which also have same direction of the spinning motion. That is called Pauli's exclusion principle. I hope it is clear. Our next one taken is called Hund's rule. Let's come on Hund's rule. Next rule is called Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. This rule is engaged where? This rule is involved or engaged? Rule is involved in filling of electrons, in degenerate orbitals, meaning same energy orbitals. This rule is involved in filling of electrons in the degenerate orbitals, meaning same energy orbitals. In the filling of electrons in the same energy orbitals, we are using this rule, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. इसमें क्या बोलता है रूल को है? For the rule, what the statement? Write down statement. देखिए, it states that during filling of electrons, in degenerate orbitals, electron pairing will not take place until each orbital has been singly filled or occupied. So basically it is involved during filling of electrons in p, d and f subshells. Now which orbitals can have same energy? Only those which are occupying same shell and same subshell. Now which subshells can have more than one orbitals? p, d, f. In s it is not involved. For filling of electrons in s orbitals it is not involved. It is involved for filling of electrons in p, d and f orbitals. So I hope it is clear. For filling of electrons in p, d, f orbitals, this rule will be employed. If I suppose write here p orbitals, if you have p1 configuration for any p orbital subshell p, we have only one electron. So in one electron there is no problem. We write this way or I can write this way also. दोनों ही correct है, कोई wrong नहीं इसमें से है. If I told two electrons, then two electrons we can write both spin should be same. Or we can write both spin up or both spin down, but not this or this or this. These three will not be allowed as per Hund's rule. क्या बोला इन्होंने? that during filling of electrons in degenerate orbitals, electron pairing will not take place until each orbital has been singly filled. And singly filling also one point remember, when they are filled singly, electron spinning direction should be same. Electron should have same direction of spinning motion, both up or both down. Both up or both down means it is allowed, but it is not allowed because one is spin up, one is down, or one down then second up, or the two electron occupying same orbital. Reason क्या होता है इसके लिए? Electrons will have electrostatic repulsion. In any case, electron will carry minus charge, electron will carry negative charge, so they have in them electrostatic repulsion. So it is not favored, but this is favored as per this principle. Let us take more examples of this Hunt-Sule case. If I write suppose P3 configuration or P4, P5 configurations, then how to write them here correctly? P3 configurations we can write this way. All the three electrons should have spin direction same. Either all three spin up or all three spin down. They are allowed, but up and down is not allowed. In P4 case, now we have to use this rule here. Now we fill first each orbital having single electron, spin all same. Now fourth electron will enter or will pair in one of the same orbital which contain one electron. So we can write this way here. That is meaning that electron pairing will not take place. Electron pairing will not take place until each orbital have been singly filled or occupied. If I take P5 configuration, we fill first one electron each, and then we have 5 electrons, so 2 electron more, they will pair up. The 2 electron remaining more, they will pair up, 5 electrons. So 1, 2, 3 and 2 will pair. So out of 6 electron possibilities, subshell D, they can have 5 electrons this way. Now in the given case, we can see one term is used, we can involve here or explain to you, unpaired electrons. Unpaired electrons. See, in any atom, the electrons can be taken of two categories, paired electrons and unpaired electrons. Paired electron means when the two electrons are occupying same orbital which have same direction of spin motion, we call them paired electrons. So this can be called as paired electrons. They are paired electrons. And these electrons which are unpaired, which are having single in one orbital, we can call them unpaired electrons. This can be taken unpaired electron here or here. They are all taken unpaired electrons. This also all three taken unpaired electrons. Meaning in a single orbital, means in this case what happened? One orbital has one electron, then it is called as unpaired electron. If we can take one orbital have two electrons, then we call them paired electrons. Paired means electron pairing. Already we have orbitals containing one electron each. We fill extra electron. Extra electron will pair. Pair means spin direction become opposite to allow the orbital to occupy same orbital. So it is called paired electrons and it is called unpaired electrons. These unpaired electrons are helpful to us to decide the magnetic properties. So let us tell you about the magnetic properties. It is the rule basically taken Hunt-Sule. For D or F, we can use similar point. A pairing will not take place until each orbital have been singly occupied. As per this Hunt-Sule, it tends to, what this says, it says that atoms will try to have maximum number of unpaired electrons with spin direction same. That is meaning maximum multiplicity. It's try to say that the electrons whichever are unpaired, they try to have maximum number of unpaired electrons, maximum number of unpaired electrons which should have spin direction same as per this principle. So this unpaired electrons will help us to understand a little bit of the magnetic properties. So let us introduce to you this magnetic property because that will be given to you or asked in questions from the electronic configurations. See, in magnetic properties, we can take substances in two categories. One substance are called as diamagnetic substances, and other called as paramagnetic substances. They are used very frequently in our study of many points in organic inorganic chemistry or chapter coming differently, which are linked to the element or substances or molecules, electron distribution. So first we can take the meaning of substances. Diamagnetic substances ये क्या होते हैं? These substances they are weakly repelled. They are weakly repelled when placed in magnetic field. When placed in magnetic field. What is condition for them? They have no unpaired electrons. Means if I take some substance which can be taken diamagnetic nature, it is applied magnetic fields in north pole, south pole. So what happens? If the substance taken is diamagnetic nature, then the magnetic lines of force will try to pass away from substance. On the other hand, if the substance said to be paramagnetic nature, यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि these substances, these are weakly attracted when placed in magnetic field. When placed in magnetic field, इसमें कंडीशन क्या होता है? कंडीशन एक ही है, they should have one or more unpaired electrons. They should have one or more unpaired electrons. If I suppose we take substance which is paramagnetic, if I place in the magnetic field, it is substance taken here. If it is paramagnetic, then what happens? The magnetic lines of force will try to pass close to substance. Attraction, it is called attraction in the magnetic field. There is attraction in the magnetic field. Now why it happens so? It depends on this term taken here, which is very crucial, important for understanding unpaired electrons. If a substance contains unpaired electrons, then they are paramagnetic in nature. They show attraction in the magnetic field. And condition क्या है? They should have at least one or more unpaired electrons. इसका लॉजिक क्या होता है? If you take a substance contain unpaired electrons, then the electron which are unpaired, they are spinning on their own axis. By the spinning motion of a charged particle on their own axis, they can create magnetic field. Same thing happens here. When the electron is revolving on its own axis, then they create magnetic field. That magnetic field will do what here? Will favor or will cause attraction for the magnetic lines of force to pass close to them. So the substance will show paramagnetism. And in this case, which have no unpaired electrons, effect of magnetic field produced by one electron will be cancelled by second electron which have spin direction opposite. So what happens? Then they will not have attraction for the magnetic lines of force, and in such a substance the magnetic lines of force will try to pass away from substance. Then the substance is said to be diamagnetic in nature. बहुत simple है condition. They have unpaired electrons. They have no unpaired electrons. How to know unpaired electrons? It comes from the writing elements electronic configuration using the different rules taken right now. Now furthermore, for the substance which are paramagnetic in nature, for them how to find the value of the spin only magnetic moment. Let us see. Now, if you take a substance which have unpaired electrons, for them we can calculate one property called as spin only magnetic moment, mu s. It is given by relation with the unpaired electrons root n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. Bm in short we write here. Or this expression we can write one more way, root 4s into s plus 1 Bohr magneton. In the given expression, इसका टर्म क्या पे क्या है? n indicate number of unpaired electrons, number of unpaired electrons of a substance, n indicate number of unpaired electrons, and this capital S denote total spin is equal to how much? n by 2. If you remember, each electron unpaired will have spin direction same and magnitude how much? Half. We will take magnitude here. It is total number of unpaired electron into half will give the total spin. In the given relation, I can replace the term n is equal to how much? 2s, and then this expression we can write here. Writing n equal to 2s, we can take 4s into s plus 1 Bohr magneton. This is unit for calculation of spin only magnetic moment, and this one Bohr magneton we can link by expression E into h upon 4 pi mc. The terms are having their usual meanings already described to you. Values quite calculation will be higher, so in this writing this term is given commonly Bm. Bohr magneton is equal to how much? E into h upon 4 pi mc. E is a charge of the electron, h is Planck's constant, m the mass of electron, and c is the velocity of light. That is how we can find the value of mu s. So we can see the substances which are having unpaired electrons, where n is indicating number of unpaired electrons. They explain this magnetic properties. More the number of unpaired electrons, more will be paramagnetism. You can take this point कि more the number of unpaired electrons, more is paramagnetism. Question पूछता क्या हमें? Which is most paramagnetic or have highest value of spin only magnetic moment? You can simply explain whichever substance, ions or molecules or compounds which can contain more number of unpaired electrons, they are more paramagnetic in nature. Remember? Now one point more, in general, ये point भी अपने काफी important है. You get an exam questions, which substance or compound can be colored, which ions or salts can be colored. For deciding the color, you can use this point again same. Generally, it is not always true but mostly true. Generally, paramagnetic substances are colored. The substances which contain unpaired electrons are usually colored. So color can be described or explained by using this magnetic properties to some extent. It is not true always, but mostly it is true. In general, whenever ions or salts or compounds which are having unpaired electrons will be colored, or they form colored salts. I hope it is clear. Magnetic properties. Fine. Now we use these rules for writing the elements electronic configurations. For writing the elements electronic configurations. So let us explain to you using some examples. Now if I write, suppose an example taken for element taken, let us write for the beginning first 10 elements as at this stretch: hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. For these elements, how to write electronic configurations? It is very simple to write the electronic configurations. देखिए, for hydrogen we have only one electron, so can write 1s1. Subshell first orbit, subshell s have single electron. In helium 1s2. In lithium 1s can have 2 electron maximum. So for lithium the next electron enter where? 2s orbital. आपका energy sequence क्या है? 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s and so on. So we fill completely 1s. 1s can have 2 electron maximum. Then the electron enter 2s orbitals. So 2s means we have how many electrons? 3 electrons. So 1 electron come here. I hope you know the element atomic number. There are first 10 element consecutively. Atomic number of hydrogen 1, 2, 3. Beryllium is 4. Boron 5. Carbon 6. Nitrogen 7. 8, 9, 10 are the elements atomic numbers. For beryllium, what should be configuration? 1s2, 2s2. 2s is filled completely because 2s can have 2 electrons maximum. Now the electron filling start in 2p orbital. So 2p can have only 4 filled, 1 more remaining. So can take it is common. So 2p 2, then 2p 3, then 2p 4, then 2p 5 and then 2p 6. We cannot have 2p 7 because subshell p can have at the max 6 electrons. Subshell p can have at the max 6 electrons. So last electron enter only p or subshells taken here. In subshell p 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now after them filling them completely, the next electron can enter where? 3s in the next element. So let us take some more practice. So let us write some more examples for practice. Sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. For these elements, Z is given in the brackets 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 respectively. For them, how to write configuration? Apply basic rules same. 1s1, 1s2, 2s1, 2p6, 3s1. This configuration can also be written as, it is the previous noble gas. It is neon, so this can be written as neon 3s1. Neon 3s1. Now if it is magnesium taken here, we can add this common 3s2. Then we take aluminium 3s2, 3p1 because it is 10 electrons, 11 over now 12 electrons over now 13th electron go to 3p orbital. Then we take silicon 3s2, 3p2. Then we take phosphorus 3s2, 3p3. Then sulfur 3s2, 3p4. Chlorine 3s2, 3p5. Argon 3s2, 3p6. That is how for the elements we can write configurations. The filling of electron sequence, remember for the energy 1s, 2s, 3s, 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d. Till now d is not gone here, 3p is over. Now take next element taken. Further for atomic number give ahead here. Now if we take next element taken, potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium and chromium. For these elements you write the configurations. For the element taken, atomic number is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 are the required elements electronic atomic numbers. If you take for potassium, what is electronic configuration? It can be written completely that 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1 up to 3p6. It will make up how many electrons? 18 electrons. This also can be written as argon 4s1. If we write calcium, we can write similarly 4s2. After 4s is filled, then the next electron enter where? In 3d orbitals. So we take next one taken 4s2 3d1 and then 4s2 3d2. Here 4s2 3d3. Here 4s2 3d4 is expected. For chromium, the configuration expected in outermost, leaving this argon, it is expected to have the configuration this one. It is expected, but what is actual configuration of chromium? It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3p6, 4s1, 3d5. This is actual configuration of chromium. This configuration, remember, one of the most frequently asked question in school examination as well as entrance examination for chromium, writing the electronic configuration. The expected configuration of chromium was 4s2 3d4, but actual become 4s1 3d5. 4s1 3d5 is configuration of chromium which is expected here. I'll explain to you this one more example. After writing some more examples here of elements coming ahead after chromium. After chromium we can take manganese 25 atomic number, iron 26 atomic number, cobalt 27 atomic number, nickel 28 atomic number, copper 29 atomic number. Now these if I write here this configuration for the elements, you can write it on very simple examples. So if you write the directly answers here, it's just like previous case. I can write directly argon noble gas as a whole for 18 electrons, then 4s2 3d5, argon 4s2 3d6. Subshell D can have 10 electron maximum, so can fill up to 10. Cobalt, argon 4s2 3d7, nickel, argon 4s2 3d8. For copper, argon 4s2 3d9 is expected, but actual is argon 4s1 3d10. These two configurations of the elements are exceptional configuration up to atomic number 36. These two configurations are exceptional configurations and asked frequently in examination. This chromium configuration is asked rather very frequently in almost all examinations. Writing the chromium configuration, or from the chromium configuration finding the number of unpaired electron or the magnetic properties explanation. Now why it happens so? Why copper and chromium are having exceptional electronic configuration? This exceptional electronic configuration of chromium and copper can be explained using two can take properties. One is called symmetry and second is called as exchange energy concepts. This stability can be explained by using symmetry and exchange energy concepts. Why it happens that electrons are excited from 4s to 3d. Okay, what happens from 4s? one of the electron goes to 3d orbital. In both the cases, it is because the reason can be explained here, extra stability of exactly half-filled and fully filled orbitals in subshells PDF especially. तो उसमें क्या होता है, हम लिखेंगे इसके बारे में. Let us explain first this chromium, the region for exceptional electronic configurations. Region for exceptional electronic configuration. In some cases, several d block elements or f block elements, they have exceptional electronic configuration. Why? It is because of two reasons. First is symmetry or symmetrical electron distribution, and second term is called as exchange energy. Exchange energy. Actually, this explains the stability of configuration. Whenever the element have highly stable configurations, the stability of configuration can be explained basically here in these two terms. These two regions, they impart these two regions or concepts, they impart greater stability to exactly half-filled and fully filled orbitals of a given subshell. This term is especially used in case of d and f orbitals where electron excitation occur easy. For this case, we can have several regions. One of the common regions is that as we go in higher energy orbitals, as we go in higher energy orbits, energy gap decreases, so electrons are excited from lower to higher energy orbital. Let us explain this chromium. I will take only chromium outermost configuration. For chromium, what is outermost configuration? If I take argon, leave argon, I am writing 4s 3d4. It was the expected configuration of chromium 4s2 3d4. But what happened? One of the electron will excite from 4s2 3d orbitals. So after excitation, how we write configuration? It becomes 4s1 3d5. This is exactly half-filled configuration of d orbitals. This exactly half-filled configuration of d orbitals or subshell d make them more stable. This impart exactly half-filled or fully filled orbitals in subshells. They will have more stability. For that reason only, from 4s subshell or orbital, one of the electron is excited to the vacant 3d orbital to make them 3d5. Now 3d5 will have exactly half-filled configuration. Similarly in copper also. In copper case, same thing happens. If it is taken copper 3d9, if it is taken 4s2. From here, one of the electron goes to this half-filled this d orbital to make them fully filled d orbital. In both the cases, in chromium or copper, it is exactly half-filled. In copper case, it is fully filled. D orbitals. For this reason, that one of the electron from 4s orbital get excited to d orbital. In this case, in vacant d, in this case, one of the d orbital having already one electron, to make them d5. d5 is exactly half filled, and d10 become fully filled orbitals. Now why it happens so? It is because of these two regions which impart greater stability to the exactly half filled and fully filled orbitals in a subshell. They make them more stable, exactly half filled or fully filled subshells in organ type orbitals here. क्यों? इसका दो रीजन है. पहला रीजन क्या है? सिमेट्री. सिमेट्री मीन्स व्हेन वी हैव एग्जैक्टली हाफ फिल्ड और फुली फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल्स, they are more stabilized because of symmetrical electron distribution. पांच आपके ऑर्बिटल्स हैं. We have 5 orbitals. If each contain one electron, it is called symmetrical electron distribution. So stability will be increased. Similarly, in D10 also, when we have 10 electrons, 5 orbitals, again they can distribute uniformly. Symmetrical electron distribution is there. So when we have exactly half filled or fully filled orbitals, they will have symmetrical electron distribution. All will have same number of unpaired electrons or paired electrons or same number of electrons in each orbital. So it is called symmetrical electron distribution. It is first term. Second term taken exchange energy concept. So what is exchange energy? I will explain to you right now. Now next bit is taken concept of exchange energy. Exchange energy ये क्या होता है? You can have definition. It is the energy released during exchange of electrons having same spin direction, same spin within exchange of electrons having same spin direction within same subshell in different orbitals. Same subshell in different orbitals. Within same subshell in different orbitals. Okay. Now more the number of exchanges possible, more will be exchange energy, more will be exchange energy, and thus more will be stability, of a given configuration. More will be stability of a given configuration. So if I explain this concept here using D4 and D5 configurations, if it is taken D4 configuration in chromium, suppose electron does not excite, then in D4 configuration they can have how many exchange possible? You can see electron having same direction of spin, all are having same direction of spinning motion, one exchange, second exchange and third exchange. This electron in the first orbital exchange 3 more within same subshell. This electron exchange here to here and here to here, and these two electron exchange among them mutually. That is how the exchange is allowed here. So when you have D4 configuration, they can have 6 exchanges possible. When we take D5 configuration, can you tell this D5 configuration can have how many exchange possible? We will have 6 up to here. Now what extra will be there? For 1 electron more, suppose here they can exchange how many extra exchanges? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have 4 exchanges, 6 plus 4 become 10 exchanges. 10 exchanges. If I take D10 configuration, we have 5 spin up and 5 spin down. So 5 spin up will have 10 exchange, 5 spin down also will have 10 exchange. So total they can have, total number of exchange possible here will be 20 exchanges. 20 exchanges. That's the meaning of this term here, exchange energy concept. that explain the stability of the half filled or fully filled orbitals. Energy, does energy change or release during exchange of electrons having same spin within same subshell in different orbitals? Spin should be same. Now you can take more the number of exchange possible or allowed, they will have more exchange energy and then the more stability. So when we have D5 configuration or D10 configuration, or you can take similarly F7 or F14, it is commonly observed. It is not observed in case of 3s 3p, 2s 2p. The reason they will not increase the number of exchange by that much extent, and moreover in S and P orbital the energy gap is higher. In this case we have lower energy gap 4s 3d, or take in D or F. Simple logic is when you go in higher energy orbits, energy gap is lower among the orbitals, so exchange is so can take electron excitations are common, especially whenever the element can have D5 or D10 configurations, or elements can also have acquire F7 or F14 configurations. They are commonly observed concepts. So I hope it is clear. Writing the elements electronic configuration, chromium and copper is clear. Region is symmetry. When we have D5 or D10, it can be seen clearly they have symmetrical electron distribution. All the orbitals are containing same number of electrons. And second concept taken, exchange energy. That is the reason for this exceptional electronic configuration of chromium and copper. आप इन दो को ध्यान से याद कर लीजिए, कॉपर का भी एंड ऑल्सो क्रोमियम. ये एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट पूछते हैं. At the means they also can ask you reason for this, why it happens so. Now let us configuration of atoms, of writing the elements electronic configurations. Now if we write the configuration of ions and predicting the magnetic properties. So let us take next point, electronic configuration of ions. Now next we can take